Welcome to Tia Paul's Corner. I'm your host Paula, and today I want to talk about my Microlocs maintenance. First, I kind of want to give like a 360 of my hair, just so you know what we're working with. And then I'm going to talk about braiding and banding and why I stopped at some point earlier than 1 year in. Then I'm going to talk about how I clean my hair and what I use to maintain my hair. And then we're going to talk about lint and how I keep away the lint, because lint is a problem when you have locks. And that's about the gist of what we're going to get into today. So thank you for being here, and let's get into it. So here's my hair. While I do a 360, I'm going to talk a little bit. This is my hair. Let's put it down actually. I started my locks a year and some change ago. I think I'm like a year and 10 months in. Yeah, I'm a year and 10 months in. And this is my length today. Some say I might not be at shoulder length, but I'm gonna say that I am. I'm not gonna get into the scalp because today is wash day, but this is what we're working with. I started my locks 2023. So this May is about to be 2 years. And I started with about 2 inches, so like this much. Maybe less, maybe like this much. You can see my hair journey on my TikTok at Fruity Auntie, just like how it's spelled. And yeah, this is where I'm at almost 2 years of length. Starting from, I was bald before this, so starting from nothing. As soon as I was able to grab my hair, that's when I started. And here we're back to the front. I know you see the movement. If you can't tell, I really do love my hair. And I have about 300 locks. I had 304 locks when I started, but then I combined a few in the back just because they were a little smaller than I thought and I wanted them a little thicker. And because I low-key wanted my retie to go a little bit faster. So now I should have probably like 290, 295 locks, something like that. I combined probably like, I don't know, a few. I don't know. I really don't know. I first started retying my hair every 4 weeks when I started, and then like after maybe like a year I started doing them every 5 weeks, and then after a year and a half I started doing them every 6 weeks. I'm actually in the middle of a retie right now. I have the back done, but I need to finish the front, which is why I need to wash my hair again, because it's really important to wash your hair before you do your reties and make sure that it's washed like thoroughly and cleaned. If you retie your hair without washing it, then you get all that like dirt stuck in the lock, and then you start having like gray stuff in your lock. I personally didn't experience this because I always make sure, I was really like crazy about making sure that I wash my hair right before I retie. And while I do a retie, sometimes it takes me like longer than a few days. I'll make sure that I maintain like the cleanness while I do my retie, if that makes sense. So for example, I'll wash my hair and then I'll do my retie for like 2 days, 3 days, and then if I'm not done, then I'll wash my hair again, because this is where I get like the most like dryness. So I'll wash my hair again, and since I start from here and I get to here, I'll wash my hair again, and then I'll finish this. And I'll always make sure that my scalp is clean before a retie. So if you are interested in getting locks or already have locks and you did some research, you know that you kind of have to braid and band your hair. You have to braid and band your hair before you wash your hair for the first like year or year and a half. It's different for everybody. For sister locks, you absolutely have to, because it takes a long time to create those locks and they're very intricately put together. For Microlocs, there's a little bit more flexibility. I have Microlocs, so I almost died, but I have Microlocs, and I also maintain my own locks, so I could do whatever I want. And at first I started braiding and banding because I was like, I don't want to mess up my locks. It's the beginning of my locks. I want them to like form as much as they can, and I want them to be like uniform, blah 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 blah. After 9 months, I was over it. I was so done. I was like, first of all, I couldn't get my hair as clean as I wanted it to, because I wanted to really get in there and as everywhere. I wanted to get in there. You can get a really clean scalp with braiding and banding, but you can't get into the hair as much as you want to. And that drove me crazy. As well as waiting until your hair is dry for you to take it off, to take off the braiding and banding. That drove me crazy, because there's a specific smell that your hair has when like you let it dry into braids. I couldn't stand the smell of my hair, and like I was like, at some point I hit a breaking point. At 9 months also, my hair was like basically locked, but it was just still frizzy. It wasn't like locked like these, and it didn't drop yet, but it was locked enough for me to be like, I'm done with the braiding and banding, I'm done. The thing is, I was hesitating for so long to stop or not. So I wasn't completely done with the braiding and banding. I saw some research that's a few people here and there said that they stopped braiding and banding and they were fine. There's also this one YouTuber named Kiki J. She never ever braided and banded her locks. And I was like, you ate with that. Because I shouldn't have from the beginning. I really shouldn't have. It was kind of easy to like fix anything if something went wrong, like from washing my hair. If I like had unraveling or like my hair was undoing itself at the end, it was easy to fix it because my hair was like 2 inches short. So, but at the same time, I was also like worried about like my hair not doing what it needed to be done. So I just followed the rules, I did what I had to do, and here we are. But going back to where I was at 9 months, I decided to stop braiding and banding every single time I washed my hair. So for the first 2 weeks of a fresh retie, I would braid and band, and in between the retie I would also braid and band, because I wanted to keep it fresh for as long as I wanted to. For the last 2 weeks before a retie, I just wouldn't braid and band at all. The reason why I wanted to also stop braiding and banding is because I saw other people with locks, not microlocs or sister locks, but other people with locks where they just wouldn't braid and band. They didn't have to do anything. They would just wash their hair and the hair would just do what it had to do. So why did we have to do it? It's because we have more locks that took a long time, and people didn't want to experience unraveling from washing their hair because it takes so long to do this hairstyle, like install it and then maintain it. It takes so long that people don't want it to be messed up all the time, especially like if you're a loctician. I do people's hair. I do microlocs and regular locks. And when my client would not keep up with her braiding and banding, and then she experienced unraveling, and then I had to do more work on top of the retie, that drove me crazy. So I get it. I get it when other locticians are like, you need to do your braiding and banding. But since I'm in charge of my own braiding and banding, my own reties, my own everything, if something happens, that's on me. Since at that point I wasn't really worried about like messing up the pattern and like if they were uniformed or not, like I was like, whatever. If there's a little bit of bunching, I can fix it. If there's, you know, it's all on me. If something goes wrong, it's all on me. I can fix it. I can figure it out. It's just hair to me. I was bald, so hair don't mean that much to me, you know? If I had to start over, I had to start over. I already started over. This is my second set of locks. I already started over. I was not afraid to make mistakes is my point. So I was like, let's give it a go. Let's stop braiding and banding. Let's see what happens. And I loved the results because I wanted my hair to start budding even more. And when I braided and banded, it kind of delayed my process of my hair locking and like forming quickly. So I wanted to give it a go and try to like take out the braiding and banding to see if it would go a little faster. When I went to the beach when I was like a year and like 2 months in, I went to the beach without braiding my hair, without doing nothing. That salt water, something, that magic, doing that, like just swimming without braiding my hair or doing nothing to it, that was freedom. That was true freedom. That was magical. And it turned my hair so much denser. I saw my hair like change immediately after I went on vacation. I went to Aruba and I was like swimming in the water like a little fish. And my hair changed so much after that. So maybe salt water helps the formation of locks. maybe it has something to do with it. I saw some difference after I started swimming in seawater and after I stopped braiding and banding. So yeah, that was my rant on braiding and banding. One of my goals was for my hair to drop as fast as I can because I wanted to feel this. You know, this was one of my goals. And it's so weird because I wasn't even about to make this video, but then someone DM'd me on TikTok and was like, I follow your journey, I love your locks, and I'm begging you to like do a video on your Microlocs maintenance because my Microlocs haven't dropped and I'm in a year in and I'm like really not good. That girl really, like, she was a sign from God, from the universe, because I was really not about to make this video. I was about to talk about something like completely different because, girl, right now people need to hear words of encouragement and people need to hear different things than, you know, just talking about Microlocs. I wanted to go deeper into a topic that matters to the times that we live in right now, and then I was like, no, like, this channel is not just for that. It's not just for seriousness. It's also for fun and for my passions and for me to share all my experiences and not just one experience. So I'm so glad that she DM'd me because it was literally on top of my head, and then I was like, no. And then as soon as she DM'd me and talked about like her journey, my heart, I felt so bad for her because I had such a smooth sailing journey, and when I hear other people that have like just like a hard time with their journey, that really hurts my heart. That it really does. So I'm not gonna go ahead and expose her name, but this is for you, girl. This video is for you, and I'm not telling you what to do with your Microloc maintenance, but I'm here to share my experience. This is what we're here for. This is what this channel is for. I'm here to share my experiences so you can learn from it, or you can try the things that I'm trying so that maybe it could help for you. Also, that you can try the things that I'm trying with my locks, with my life, so that you can maybe apply it to your life and it can help you too. So next we're going to talk about how I keep my locks clean. I wash my hair 2 times a week. Okay, sometimes 3 times. Your girl has really dry hair. Not even dry hair, dry scalp. I'm a dry person, okay? I'm a really dry being, and that means that I have to exfoliate my skin and my scalp quite often. From doing my own research and like experimenting on my own hair, I realized that if there's little kids, if you hear a lot of little damn kids, it's because there's a school right in front of my house, of my apartment, and these kids are at recess, okay? There's nothing I can do. This is the only time I can record. Don't mind them. But from doing my own research, I realized that if I don't keep my scalp clean, my hair is not going to grow and it's not going to be healthy. So I have to keep my scalp clean. I get a lot of buildup from dry scalp, and I don't know if it's psoriasis, whatever. I don't know what it is, but my scalp gets really dry. So I have to wash it a little bit more often. It's also because I think I sweat a lot. So if you work out a lot or like sweat a lot and you don't clean your scalp like often, then you're gonna have built up, and then, you know, you need to clean that out in order for your skin and your pores to breathe. So for me, I wash my hair twice a week, and I rinse it every single time that I work out. So say I work out today, I'm going to wash my hair today because it's wash day. But then if I work out tomorrow, then I'm going to rinse it tomorrow because I'm in the middle of a retie, girl. There's no time for me to have dirty hair. So I'm in the middle of a retie and I need to keep my scalp clean for me to continue my retie. I rinse my hair maybe every single day. And if I wash my hair at night, I make sure that I dry it before I go to bed. Never go to bed with your hair wet, with your Microlocs wet, ever. So I also wash my hair with a clear, like, water-based soap. I used to use Dr. Bronner's, but then I found this like African brand. I forgot what it's called, but I'll name the product in the description. I put a little bit into a bottle. I put like this much into a bottle that's like this big. This is a horrible explanation, but bear with me. I put this much into a bottle that's this big, and then I put like water until the bottle is like halfway filled, and then I just put the solution into my hair. And I do that twice every time I wash my hair. Sometimes I do it once because I washed my hair like not too long ago, or my scalp is not that dirty, or I didn't sweat a lot, or whatever. But use your discernment. Do what's best for you. That's what I do for me. I'm not really like really anal about my routine. I just do what my hair needs at the moment, basically. After I wash my hair, I shake it in the shower, so I make sure I squeeze it. And my hair is not that long to like go like this, but I do as much as I can. I shake it so that all the water comes out. Then I get out, and then I don't use a towel. Do not use a towel on your hair. That's how you get lint, and that's how you dry your hair out. This is the type of fabric that I use, is cotton. I just use cotton for my hair. Yeah, I just use cotton. This is like an African, like I forgot what it's called, but you put it around your waist and it's kind of like a skirt. Yeah, this is what it's called. I mean, this is what it is. I forgot what it's called, okay? Don't judge me. But before I use that, I make sure that I apply oil to my hair before I dry it, because I want to lock in the moisture before I dry it. For my hair to be moisturized, I need to make sure that my scalp is wet, and then I apply oil all over my hair. Not all over my hair, actually, that's a lie. All over my scalp. I like put it in my hand, and then I go like this, and then I just try to make it as even as I could, but only on my scalp. I like go inside my scalp. I try not to touch my hair, because if I put oil directly on my hair, then things will stick to it, and then like that's how I get lint and all that stuff that I don't want in my hair. So I basically don't really moisturize my locks, even though they look moisturized. I just put water on my locks, not every day, just when I feel like it needs it. I already rinse my hair every day or wash my hair twice a week, so I feel like that's enough moisture, just water. And then I put oil on my scalp, and that's all I do for moisturization. Now the oils that I use, it depends on what I have. I don't really, again, I'm not really anal about like what I put in my hair or how I maintain it. It's really about what I have or what my hair needs at the moment. During the winter, I mainly use like aloe vera, castor oil, lavender based castor oil, with jojoba oil, and sometimes I'll throw in some tea tree. But that's sometimes, like I don't need it. What I really need is jojoba and aloe, because I got a dry scalp, so those are the best for me. Search up what you want for your hair, as long as it's not like a thick oil. You can put a thick oil like castor oil, but as long as you put more of the aloe or jojoba, or like more of like a lighter oil, your hair will be fine. I have the castor in there for as much moisture as I can have, but then I have the aloe and the jojoba for like watering the castor down, and also those two are good for like dry scalp. So I just use whatever my hair likes, and that solution lately has been working very well. After I put the oil on my scalp, then I use the towel, or the towel. Then I leave the towel in for like 10-20 minutes, 30, sometimes 30 minutes, and then I take it off, and then I just go about my day. I just like let it air dry. I work from home, so unless I have plans, I let it air dry. But if I go outside, then I use the hair dryer. Another thing I do to keep my locks clean and lint free is I dry brush my hair. So I use a brush like this. It's pretty soft brush. Ooh, she dusty. Like, you know, your hair gathers dust from everyday activities. It gathers dust from like, you know, clothes that you wear, maybe like the back of your clothes, you know, especially the back right here can catch a lot of lint. But this girl is my savior. Once your locks are fully established or fully like locked and they don't have that much frizz anymore, that's when I started brushing every single day. I brush maybe sometimes twice a day. Before this, I was really paranoid of getting lint in my hair, and I still did. And then in October or something like that, sometime in the fall, I dyed my hair with henna, and that really helped with just covering up like all the lint that I had in my hair. I didn't have a lot, but it was a lot for me. I was freaking out. I was constantly freaking out because I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And as soon as I dyed my hair, I started brushing my hair a lot more. I really do not mess with that lint stuff. I don't. I really don't. So this is my savior. I just dry brush it. I don't need to do it like when it's wet or whatever. I just do it right before I spray my hair, or before I get in the shower, or before I wet my hair. Like, I always just brush it. Brush it, brush it, brush it. Like, I just brush it like, sometimes I'll brush it like this. Sometimes I'll brush it like this to get the ends. And then I'll do the back like that, and then I just shake, 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 and then I wet my hair, or I do whatever I gotta do, and then I go about my day. And then of course I wear my bonnet, okay? I wear my bonnet every single night, or when I clean, because you know, if I'm doing something, if I'm vacuuming, the dust, you know, there's dust in my house. So if I'm cleaning something, I always got my bonnet on. I always make sure my hair is protected. And I always make sure that if I'm going to wear like clothes like this, then I have a scarf. I put my hair in a scarf, or I put my hair like just out of the way so it doesn't get, this doesn't get on my hair. Or I'll make sure that as soon as I take it off, I brush my hair like thoroughly. Don't pick the lint out, just cover it up and brush your hair, and cover your hair with a scarf or with a bonnet, or with both. Now the last thing that I am going to get into is, as much as I keep my hair and the outside of me clean, I keep the inside of me clean as well. I drink my water. We're gonna keep hydrated. I keep myself hydrated because I'm a dry girl. So I need to keep myself hydrated. Another thing that keeps me hydrated is Seamoss. Seamoss is the best for keeping myself hydrated. My skin is glowing, everything is glowing because of the Seamoss. Another thing is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is so good. At some point I just wasn't eating my greens that much and I was just lazy, so I got some chlorophyll. As soon as I did get into eating my like leafy greens, my fruits, vegetables, everything, I put the chlorophyll down. I said, I don't need to buy that anymore since I'm eating my chlorophyll from what I'm eating. Chlorophyll is basically plant blood. Yeah, it's basically like everything, every plant, vegetables, or whatever that comes from the ground that has green has chlorophyll. Besides water, Seamoss, and chlorophyll, write that down, I also take a lot of teas. I drink teas every day. I have 1 or 2 teas every day, and I drink loose mugwort and mullein. Mullein is good. Mullein and mugwort are both good for blood circulation, inflammation, and besides, it's a tea, so it hydrates you. You know, it has a lot of other benefits that I can't really think of right now. And the last thing that I take for supplements and just keeping my body like as clean as possible is this guy. This is Cordyceps, okay? Cordyceps, girl, I'm so bad at English, so here. That's what it looks like, Cordyceps. It's a mushroom extract, and it's a castile fungi. It's good for energy, stamina, respiratory, adrenal function, adrenaline. Oh, anyways, kidney, blood sugar, immune response, liver, and libido being active. It's good for that. I don't know if it actually helps my hair, but hey, she's glowing in it. So there you go. So that's about it for the supplements that I take and the things that I do to keep my insides clean, and for me to use the bathroom regularly, because that, you know, keeping all the that you have in your body, it's not going to be good. Holding on to all that is not good. It's going to back up something in your system, okay? It can't be good. It can't be good. So the more I clean out my system, I think the better my system works in my favor. From my skin, to my teeth, to my bone health, to my hair smelling good, to feeling good, to having more energy, to having more brain. Okay, maybe the brain function needs to be worked on. but to having more brain function and just being a more healthy individual just in general. Okay, when I'm talking about hair health, I'm never going to talk just about hair health. Have you seen this channel? Have you seen the other videos I do? When we talk about something, we talk about everything. This is everything. I love to say that line is from The Walking Dead. Rick will always he'll always say, "This is everything." And I love when he says that because I like that line. The last thing I want to say is, if you are having a hard time with your lock journey, I heavily encourage that you change your mindset about your lock journey. A lot of people will say ugly phase. I don't want to hear that. A lot of people will say I'm struggling with my hair because it's not looking how it's supposed to look. I don't want to hear that. Everybody has different hair. You have to consider the facts. Do you have low porosity hair or do you have high porosity hair? Do you have thick or thin hair? Do you have a loose pattern or do you have a really tight coiled pattern? There's so many things you need to consider for your hair to have the best journey that you can have. Also, you need to reframe your mind and how you feel about your hair. If you feel horrible about your hair, you're not gonna have a good time. I already had the chopping my hair because I hated my hair journey, okay? So I already came to a conclusion that I need to start over my journey and love it in a different way. Maybe I don't need to be loving it when it's loose, but I can love it when it's in Microlocs because I know what the outcome is going to be like. And I know that I'm pouring love into my hair. If you're not pouring love into your hair, it's not going to love you back. It's not going to you're not going to have a good time, okay? Stop calling it ugly in the ugly stage. If somebody else is doing your hair and they're messing it up, go to somebody else or do it yourself. Pour love into your hair. Say, "I love you, hair. You're doing all of this for me. You're making me look so different and how I want to grow my hair." Love your hair. Just pour some love into your hair. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a struggle. And the more you love your hair, the more you're pouring love into yourself as well. Maybe it needs to be a self-love journey for you. Maybe it needs to be a self-acceptance. Accept your hair. Accept yourself. You are beautiful. No matter what they say. You're beautiful. And this is so much deeper than the struggle of your hair. This has something to do with the colonizer, okay? The colonizers made us hate our hair. Before, we knew how to do this. When our ancestors were in Africa, we didn't have a problem with our hair. They made us hate our hair. Or your mom didn't know how to do your hair, so now you hate your hair and you don't know how to handle your hair, or you don't know how to love on your hair. Okay, this is not about your parents. This is not about your mom. This goes way back. And you need to start there. You need to start there because that's where it started. Rewire your brain and rewire your acceptance and accept yourself. And this is not an easy thing to do, but it is really necessary for you to love yourself for real. And for you to love your hair for real. And then the other thing is stop comparing yourself, because comparing yourself to other people's journey when you don't have nowhere near close to the same journey as the next person that has their hair the way you want your hair. It's a different journey based on the level of acceptance you have towards yourself and your hair, and the level of knowledge you have towards your hair, yourself and your hair. If you don't have the knowledge or the acceptance, you're not gonna have a smooth journey, and you need to remember that. That's the most important thing. That's what will give you the length and the health that you need for your hair first. And then everything else will follow, and everything else will be easier. We go deep in this channel. We don't do, "Oh, you need to put this in your hair and that in your hair and that's what it will do." No, we go inside first. We go within, and then everything outside will reflect what you feel inside about yourself and your hair. Okay? That is all I have for you today. That is all I wanted to talk about. That is all the topics that I wanted to cover. I will link all of the products and the things that I use down in the description. I'm not gonna link the exact products. I'm just gonna kind of just say what I use. I feel like you can work with what you have, and you can do your own research on what you need. It doesn't need to be the, if I'm using aloe, it doesn't need to be the exact aloe, you know. Trust yourself, trust that you're doing the right thing. You don't need the exact same thing as I have. That's the challenge I have for you this week. I'm not gonna put the exact same products that I have. You can do your own research, use your discernment, and use your knowledge and trust yourself to get the right things for yourself. I love you so much for clicking on this video and listening to me yap. I want to see more Microlocs girlies. I want to see more people that love their hair, more black girls that love their hair. I want to see more people loving on themselves, and this is what this hairstyle does naturally. I love you so much. Have a good day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video.